Oh, word. Quake 64 supports the Rumble Pack? Oh, let's go. Why does this sound like something that Project Pat or Koopsta would slide on? This is gangster as hell. For those of you who know me, you know I'm a big fan of Quake. I streamed it not too long ago. We cut that down. There's a highlight reel on the channel. Quake 1, in my opinion, is the best FPS ever made of the old school id Software arena shooters, boomer shooters, whatever you want to call them. Quake is just a masterclass in good design. Now, Quake 1 was ported to a couple of systems, the Nintendo 64, which is what we're playing here, and surprisingly, the Sega Saturn. I don't know what kind of abracadabra black magic the devs of the Saturn port pulled off to get Quake running on the Sega Saturn, but yeah, this is the N64 version. I've actually never played N64 Quake. I'm assuming it's gonna control about as well as like Turok or GoldenEye, which are both great games and pioneers in their own regard, but they haven't aged the most gracefully. We select our difficulty here, so I guess there's no hub. Rumble Pack not found. Please insert Rumble Pack into controller number 1. Yeah, I'm playing this on my totally real N64, totally not emulating it, Nintendo. I'm totally not emulating it. Building. What is this? Minecraft? Loading screens? On a cartridge? Well, I mean, it is an N64 port of Quake. Oh, and we're just dropped into E1M1, the first level. Okay, oh god, I gotta get used to these controls. This sensitivity is too much. Can I change that? Thank god. Let's crank that down a little bit. Okay, that's way more doable. So the N64 controller looks like this if you're a Gen Alpha baby watching this and you've never seen an N64 controller before. Okay, we can jump by pressing down on the C button. I'm not using an actual N64 controller. I'm using a Logitech gamepad. So the analog stick strafes and moves. And in order to aim, I have to hold down the R button with these inverted controls. And the Z button fires. A button switches my weapon. Okay. Honestly, though, already this kind of looks and runs better than I was anticipating. Like, this is N64, which was a pretty beefy console compared to the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn. But, like, the N64 ain't got a Windows Pentium processor. We don't got OpenGL. The lighting engine is completely different. The skybox is different. The water texture is totally different. The sound effects are pretty much one-to-one, but the soundtrack is also completely different. For those of you who are familiar with Quake 1, the soundtrack was done by Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails. This soundtrack was done by Aubrey Hodges, who did the PlayStation 1 port of Doom, that soundtrack. And it kind of sounds like Throbbing Gristle. It's very much got that low droning ambient sound to it. Except for the title screen music, which just sounded like a Memphis trap beat. Like straight up, this is some Throbbing Gristle type beat. It's good though, I like it. Okay, we're gonna shoot this. There we go. Get the double barrel boy. And let's get the nail gun. Honestly, this is not that bad. It runs decently well. The controls are definitely not ideal. Not being able to strafe separately of, you know, aiming your gun kind of sucks. But if I had this on N64 back in 1998, I probably would have been content with it. Got the bio suit. Let's go swimming in the toxic sludge water. See what's down here. Okay. The swimming controls are not great because I have to manually hold down the R button to aim and to swim. Now apparently there's some cut levels from this game, some cut enemies, which is to be expected. Quake was a massive game for 1996. It was a pioneer right alongside Super Mario 64. Those games were released one day apart from one another in 96. So this port came about 2 years later, but again, I'm kind of surprised by how decent this is, right? This goes so hard. Oh, and they give you a password in case you don't have a memory pack. I think in Turok on N64, you needed the memory pack in order to save your progress. So it's pretty cool that they throw you a bone with the password feature. So I guess this port was developed by Midway. We got the Midway logo in the corner. I don't know if they just published it or if they developed it as well. But yeah, this is a pretty solid version of Quake 1 so far. Oh, this is nightmarish. The lighting is completely different. The music by Aubrey Hodges, it's so good. It's a very different feel for Quake. Got the ogre. He's gonna eat grenades at me. I'm just now noticing the ammo crates don't have the 9 Inch Nails logo on them like they do in the original game. Huh. Oh, this lighting is so cool. It's like neon blue. It looks completely different than how it does on PC. It's kind of like how Brutal Doom, or Final Doom rather, on PlayStation looks. I will say though, I couldn't imagine beating this version of Quake, right? Like the early levels, the first 2 episodes are probably doable, but then when we get to the Sandy Peterson levels in episode 4, it's just gonna be a nightmare. I'm not gonna beat this, by the way. We'll play through the first episode. I wonder if Chthon, the first boss of the game at the end of episode 1, I wonder if Chthon is in this version or if they had to scrap that fight. I guess we're gonna find out. Quake 1 already had pretty spooky atmosphere, but this is just downright hellish. Like, this is really good shit. Pick up the silver key. There we go. So if you haven't seen my other Quake videos on the channel, the reason I like this game so much, it's mainly what it boils down to is the excellent level design. It's not like Doom 1 or 2 where you get lost and you're wandering around looking for a key card, right? The level design is very intuitive. Oh, we gotta fight the fiends here in a second. But it's the art direction, the medieval industrial look, the soundtrack, the level design. Quake 1 is just perfect. And it kind of upsets me that Quake 2 onwards ditched the more industrial medieval theme and went full on outer space shooter. I'm not even gonna fight the fiend. We're just gonna skip it. Yeah, get me out of there. I'm gonna try to mitigate the combat as best as I can. Now, to play devil's advocate for Quake 2 and 3 and Quake 4, all the Quake games moving forward, at the time of Quake 2's release, the outer space shooter theme wasn't as played out. But if id Software decides to pull a Doom 2016 and remaster Quake, I really hope they go back to basics with the first game's art direction and feel. Hell, even get Trent Reznor back on the boards. Alright, we got the grenade launcher. We're in the Necropolis, blowing up ghouls, shooting ogres. Yeah, this definitely plays better than I thought it would going into this, but it's not the... Nowadays, it's not the ideal version of Quake. And I've actually heard that you can play the Steam port of Quake with the N64 lighting and music. I'm gonna have to check that out after this recording. Get the gold key. This custom lighting is throwing me off. It's really nice, actually. I might even prefer how this looks to vanilla Quake, using save states on my totally real N64. Totally not just emulating this game. I mean, hell, in the actual id Software games, you could just save scum to your heart's content. So, it's pretty much the same thing. This is always a classic moment right here. You push the button. Oh no, I'm gonna get crushed. No! Just kidding. It's just a prank. There you go. Hit me with them Memphis trap beats. The 3/6 type beat. Circa 1998. The Gloom Keep, I think we skipped a level. Yeah, I just looked it up. We skipped the Grizzly Grotto, which is the level with the slip gate that takes you to the low gravity level. Calculate it. Perfect. I will say, the platforming here is not great. Thankfully, there's not a ton of platforming, but I'd imagine we're not going to be pulling off any rocket jumps or anything with these controls. Yeah, give me the armor, give me the shield. There we go. Okay, I know that there's going to be a fiend over here. And then I started blasting. I can't get over how impressive the lighting is in this port. It's way more colorful, but I kind of dig it. There's the rocket launcher. What a thing of beauty. Yeah, I really don't think I'm going to be pulling off any rocket jumps. Just gonna move right on through, don't mind me. Quake Ranger, just trying to get through. Okay, I'm just trying to get through. I'm just trying to get through. Just ignore that. That was just a save state on my totally real Nintendo 64. I always thought that the Quake Ranger's voice, as voiced by Trent Reznor, kind of sounded like Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong 64. Like Grant Kirkhope, Donkey Kong specifically. You know, when you play it like this, it's kind of like you're playing old MS-DOS Doom, where you can only look left and right. I mean, I can look up and down if I hold the R button, but then I'm locked in place. Oh, but I can use the D-pad to move. Oh. Nah, that doesn't really work, because I still gotta use the analog stick to aim. Oh, the Shambler! What's good, bro? What's happening, buddy? Love this dude. Yeah, people forget OG Doom, like MS-DOS Doom, there was no keyboard and mouse, it was just the keyboard. Quake pioneered WASD keyboard and mouse movement. Little history lesson for you. Down the hole we go. Into the slip gate. Hit me with them beats. Trapaholics. Real trap shit. We make it look easy. Oh, the door to Chthon. We might actually get the level itself. Now, I like to do a rocket jump right there to get the golden key early. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. You know what? Let's try it. Let's attempt a rocket jump in Quake 64. That didn't work at all. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, rocket launcher. I'm gonna look down. I'm gonna shoot. I pressed the wrong button again. Don't worry. This is it. This is it right here, fellas. Well, got over. I did a rocket jump in Quake 64. Can I get back? We damage boosted it. We did it. I'm kind of blown away that I even did that. Oh! Don't mind me, just gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna have a grenade battle real quick, buddy. Don't mind me. I'm just now realizing that pressing up on the C-stick immediately reorients the camera. That's pretty good. Lamp oil, rope, bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend. Where'd he go? Oh, I already killed him. Now we got the gold key early. We can go in here and do this fun stuff. I gotta fight a Shambler with like 25 health. So that's really fun. 50 health. Oh, there's more. Nice. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. You want the smoke? I got the nail gun, friend. Hell yeah. I know I'm playing this on normal mode, so there's really... I shouldn't feel the sense of accomplishment because I'm sure Quake 64 speedrunners go dick nuts on this game, but I've never played Quake 64 before. I'm kind of proud I did that rocket jump. The House of Chthon! Look at that! The actual boss fight, like one of 2 boss fights in this game. Unless you can consider the Vor enemies bosses, which... Yeah, they're pretty annoying. I guess they're sort of miniature boss battles. I really like this dude's design, but unfortunately the fight isn't much of a fight. You step on these buttons, right? You step on these buttons, you lower down those pylons, and then you step on this button, and you do that a couple times. Ah! That was an accident. Oh, he disappeared. Did I only have to do it 1 time in this version? In Vanilla Quake, you have to do it, like, 2 or 3 times. Oh, I guess I killed him. Alright, sweet. We killed him, got the rune, through the slip gate. That's episode 1 right there. As the corpse of the monstrous entity, Chthon, whatever, sinks back into the lava whence it rose, you grip the rune of earth magic tightly. Now that you have conquered the dimension of the doomed realm of earth magic, you are ready to complete your task. A rune of magic power lies at the end of... God, this text speed is slow. Yeah, Quake was originally supposed to be an RPG with like medieval high fantasy theme, and then id Software was like, fuck it, we're making Doom again. But that's okay, because Quake is better than Doom in my opinion, but don't tell anyone. This probably would have been even better if I had the Rumble Pack. Definitely not the most ideal way to play Quake nowadays, but in 1998, for the Nintendo 64, this is pretty impressive. Not as mind-blowing as the Sega Saturn port, because that port of Quake just should not exist in the first place. But yeah, if I was a kid in 98 and I didn't have a 486 machine, or rather a PC that had a graphics card or a Pentium processor, I probably would have enjoyed this. I would have been content with this. I'm actually surprised by how decently it controlled.